I can't believe this. I have been talking to myself for a good 15 minutes. I can't believe this. And then when I noticed the comment section was dead silent, I said, can they hear me? I've been talking to my, oh my goodness, guys, wow. Somebody should have said something. I was going on and on and on. I was now inside Phakathi and I was like, no, 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 no. I know the Mzansi Unfiltered family. There is no way they can hear me. Oh, I'll have to start again and try to remember all the things I said. So I'm so sorry, guys. It's my first day back live. So, and this is a one-man show. Excuse the technical difficulties. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? This is Mzansi Unfiltered. I can see you now. I can see that you can hear me loud and clear. So here's a couple of things I spoke about. First of all, sorry for the late start. Yes, I was late, but that's because my mouth said, "You think you're gonna go live now? No, there's no batteries. I had to search for batteries. That's why I was like, give me 10 minutes. Had to search for batteries. The whole day I was like, make sure the internet is fine, make sure everything is good. But I never thought to actually test my laptop and the mouse. But we are here now. Okay, that is what matters. And you know what? You know what? If you're in the comment section and you're trying so hard to type and you're asking yourself, why on earth can I not type? Why is my comment not being accepted? Well, guess what? Today's the day that we catch you out. Those who watch from outside the club, if you are not, and I repeat, if you're not subscribed to Mzansi Unfiltered, well, guess what? You can comment on this live. This is reserved exclusively for subscribers. So thank you so much to everybody for joining the live. Couple of things I want to say. I did so many greetings. I did so many shout outs. Oh my goodness, guys. But here's the thing. Speaking of comments, because, on live, I like to limit comments because, there's some people who think that commenting is a skill. But I want to read you this comment that I received from Upalesa Moloko. Palesa Moloko has a lot of issues, one of them being active listening. So I did a video today, and that video I spoke about Gayton McKenzie, and I said, and I quote because I can quote myself, I said I went to Gayton McKenzie's page to check on what he thought about the guilty verdict of the three accused in the Jocelyn Smith case. Now, if you're not following this Jocelyn Smith case, I've been telling you guys forever to come over to that side and just watch the law at work, watching Judge Ndim. So drop a one in the comment section down below if you know who Judge Ndim is, okay? Because let me tell you something about Judge Nathan. He starts and finishes the case, okay? He's already done a verdict. He's done a verdict while the SENZO MEYIWA trial is still stuck on the lead investigator on the stand. But you know what? I don't want to digress. So somehow Palesa got really upset. Okay, so she took it upon herself and said, you know what, my fingers today are going to work and I'm going to type this comment. And she said, so you didn't have better things to do than check on Gator. Say what now? You are just dramatic. Tell your story. No need to act like you care for him. He has his loved ones to do that. Now, Palesa, who hurt you? Who hurt you? Why are you so upset, Palesa? All I said was I went to Gayton McKenzie to check how he felt about the verdict. I never said that I'm checking on him because I care. I never insinuated that. Not once. Because hello, I have a whole other page if you didn't know where I talk freely about Gayton McKenzie. You should find it and come there with your opinions. But and I respond, of course, because sometimes I let these comments go. But this one I said, what? Let me give her attention. And I said, active listening is a skill. I went to check on him because I care. I am nosy. And I wanted to see what he has to say regarding the verdict. And voila, a whole letter. Focus, okay? So now, speaking of better things to do, you could have invested this time to comment your wrong perception by just not showing your ignorance on Beyonce's internet. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I limit Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Mzansi Unfiltered. You've already seen the title of the video. We are here to talk about everything Advocate Teffo dropped yesterday in his exclusive video with the real mastermind, Patricia Mushali. And we start off with him calling himself the principal of masterminds. Now, if you're joining us for the first time and you don't even know who Advocate Teffo is, well, let me see. Can I give you a quick, fast, and furious summary? Hello, 100 people who are in the room. Oh my goodness, you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming back. I know, I messed up the beginning. So who exactly is Advocate Teffo? He was once a policeman, okay? And then he went and he did his LLB, like you know who. And then when he did his LLB, he started taking cases and representing actual SAPS members, okay, and working with their labor relation issues and done over there. And then somewhere, somehow, he got into the SENZO MEYIWA trial. And you know what? He said it himself yesterday. He said he literally was asked by Warrant Officer Makubo and Lieutenant Colonel Buthelezi to join in and represent the 4 accused in the SENZO MEYIWA trial. I paused because I mentioned Warrant Officer Makubo's name, and we found out yesterday that he has resigned from SAPS due to the mounting pressure because of case 375. Is that not a blow, guys? That made me so sad. That's why you saw me in the video. I didn't talk about it because I just wasn't ready to process that. But I think mostly I was not ready to accept it. Yeah, I think that's the bigger issue. I wasn't ready to accept it. So that's one thing Advocate Teffo told us, that's how he actually came into the SENZO MEYIWA trial. And those of us who watched the videos, him and Maumela, make sure over there, then finally Teffo handed in his resignation. Okay, that's what we thought. Or at least that's what we watched. That's what we all saw. Okay, we all saw it. It's there on recording. And then he himself, and so I appreciate Patricia Mashale because I would have looked at her sideways if she had said all this herself. She brought him on to say everything himself. He says, Advocate Teffo said, I am going to be in court tomorrow. No, I'm not a watching brief. I will be there at the Pretoria High Court on record for accused number 1. So I say to myself, wait, accused number 1. Accused number 1 is Muzi, Sibiya. Okay. If we're talking about accused number 1, and accused number 1 is Muzi, Sibiya already has legal representation. And that legal representation is none other than Mnisi. Okay. And you know, there's been a lot of back and forth with Mnisi. He couldn't go and do his race. He couldn't go and do his marathon because he's busy bringing himself up to speed on the record, which is 60,000 pages. The same 60,000 pages which, you know, Judge Rutter read himself. Back to back, fast and furious. He read them. He said it himself, and we can all ask his family, okay, his wife and children. Those were his exact words, and I quote. Now, I was left so confused. What do you mean? First of all, we know Muzi has legal representation. Secondly, hello, sir, did you not tell us that you were disbarred? I want to believe so because I know I did a video. And I only do videos when I have seen written documentation. I don't do hearsay. Let me look for that. Let me go back to my record, okay? Because I also have my record. I'm going to go back to my records. Talk amongst yourself here in the comment section. I'm going to go back to my record. Well, you guys send me stuff, and then they become my record. After I verify them, of course. Okay, there it is. I scrolled. I received these documents on the 16th of February, 2025. Okay, inside I take my DMs. And they talk all about the dun-dunnies, okay? Hold on. Let me make it loud. Judicial Conduct Committee. There's the logo there. There's signatures. What am I missing? It's a lot. Okay, this is not the one. I gotta find the other one. See, I get a lot of these, okay? Okay, so let me not stall the session, but you guys know what I'm talking about, okay? I have this documentation that says Don has been disbarred. Okay, that's the summary. Now I'm beginning to think maybe I don't understand what disbarred means. So let me read to you this comment. And let me tell you something. This person said, not on Beyonce's internet. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. Okay, we are not misleading the record on Mzansi Unfiltered. Okay, so it's a lot to process. That's why I'm processing this with you live, so that no one says I invented this. Okay, this comment says it's about 5 long comments, and I'm going to read a few. First comment says, hold on 1 second, I need to call. Okay, this comment says, can't wait for tomorrow. That's my lady right now. Ignacia says, Ingabe iyo zala why did you have to do this to me? Okay, it's a lot. Doka says, Pretoria High Court tomorrow. Okay, we'll be on fire. I agree with you. Okay, we've got to have our tomorrow's going to be Tuma day. I already know. I already know tomorrow's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess, and it's all Advocate Teffo's fault. All we needed to know is, Mnisi, are you done reading the record? Yes or no? That's all our minds are prepared for. But tomorrow is going to be a full showdown, okay? This comment says, let's hope it's all true. Can't wait to see him in that court again. Ave ezomhlukumeza uJudge Rata. Ooh. But is that in the interest of justice, though? Cabo says, I heard him Teffo saying that yesterday. Right? Okay, we have a witness, guys. Hello, Solomon. Hi, guys. Is it true that Teffo is coming to represent Akizambwa? Listen, okay? All I can say is tomorrow at 10 a.m. Be there or be square, okay? Thank you for confirming the sound. I'm so sorry about that, guys. I'm so embarrassed. I'm usually saying justice for the MEYIWA, justice for the 5 accused persons. I just want to take a moment and say, I just don't know if I were in the MEYIWA's shoes, how I would be feeling. This is a lot of up and down, up and down, up and down, but no actual justice. And then you're watching on the other side, they're just living life so nicely. They're singing songs, they're growing up, they're having more babies. Life is going on. And don't forget, guys, the insurance money was never released. They never got the insurance money. It's being held in trust, I'm guessing, until the trial is over and everybody understands what exactly happened to him and that there was no foul play in his death. That time the children are growing up. That time SENZO has a child with special needs. Who's paying for all these things? Well, we know Baba Gamfana, loves to extend his grace. But we are not there. We are not there, okay? It's such a sad trial. I thought maybe we are going to start at 8. I should have said 8. You know what? I should have. Let me see if there's any other comment. No sound. PHAKATHI inside within. PHAKATHI inside like those 5 intruders. Listen, you killed me with this one. I actually reacted to it and guys didn't have sound. I'm so sorry. Okay, let me read this comment with regard to being disbarred. It says, a disbarred advocate in South Africa is completely barred from practicing law in any form, including providing legal advice. Even if they call it a consultation, they cannot do it. Representing clients in court, acting as a watching brief, observing cases, practicing pro bono, that is providing free legal services. That's what this comment said. I said, okay. Listen, I wrote it down, okay? Advocate Teffo said, it's just the media is spreading lies about him. And the LPC did some kind of witch hunt. I'm being harassed by the LPC and the police. The LPC is a scam of the government. It's established to harass the African human rights advocate. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just reading to you exactly what he said, okay? Those are his words, not mine. Then he goes on and talks about Advocate Dalimpo, Muzi, and then Patricia Michelle is like, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, stop digressing. Let's focus, focus. Come back to me, come back to me, come back to me. Let's talk about tomorrow. Okay, let's talk about the 5th of April. No, 5th of May, 2025. Okay, okay. Um, Let me know if you guys want to come up and talk as well. I've missed you as well. Anyway, this commenter goes on and says, strict legal restrictions, no loopholes for practice under the Legal Practice Act, LPA, and court rulings. Disbarment means a complete ban from legal work. No exceptions for pro bono. And this person keeps harping on the pro bono because what did Advocate Teffo say? He is representing Umuzi Sibiya pro bono. Again, I'm not taking any sides here. I'm just putting it exactly how I heard it, okay? So don't come for me, the messenger, okay? We heard the horse himself talk about it. He said it himself that he will be representing Umuzi Sibiya tomorrow o'clock, okay? Then I say to myself, what do you mean? But he makes a point, okay? This is the point that Edward Teffo said. He said, he's representing, he approached Mnisi Wemvula. Okay, okay, so there's conversations, I like that. Hi guys, can you hear me? And now it's double echoing. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I see it on the screen. So let me know if you can. Okay, cool. Let me disconnect the mic that they've blocked. How do I do that though? This is crazy. Okay, let's see if we can talk now. What's going on? This is horrible. Okay, hold on. Let me. Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear it double, like if there's an echo, because I'm hearing an echo. And then if I disconnect my other mic, which is the blocked mic, then you hear the loud beep. We're just trying to get through sound. We're not yet at face. Let's hold off on the face. Okay, so you guys can hear me well. Then if you can hear me well, we'll continue. I'm so sorry about that. Let me mute this. Yeah, the echo's gone. Okay, so I had to mute the other mic. What a day. I'm so bummed. But it's technology. Somebody's trying to block us. Someone is trying to block me. Enemy of progress, but it's okay. It's okay. We move. We keep going. We make it work with what we have. Literally, guys, on my screen, it just said mic disconnected. And I'm like, what do you mean mic disconnected? I'm staring at the mic. I haven't touched anything. Nothing has changed. And it just went blank. So I've connected with my phone so you guys can hear me. So let me just move this up. Hopefully you hear me well. Everybody who has left, come back. Remind me what I was talking about. I was in the middle of a point. I know I was in the middle of a point and then poof, sound gone. Somebody remind me what I was talking about. Yeah, boy, da. I don't even know what I was talking about. Oh, Gabo says, despite the absence of audible speech, comprehension is possible through the reading of the lips, aka go live with. That's a smart one. That is smart. This is great. Good. Please, right of admission reserved. Yes, that's right. Right of admission is reserved in the comment section. Oh man, I know my sound is awful. I can feel it. But we move, we continue. So we were reading the comment. I remember that part. I was reading to you the comment. So you know what? Let's do a poll. Drop a 5 in the comment section if you think Advocate Teffo is disbarred and will not be able to represent Muzi Sibiya tomorrow. And then drop a 6 if you think he's good to go, he's clean. Judge Rata will welcome him with open arms. He's had the conversation with Mnisi Wemvula, and everything is good. We're just members of the public, members of the jury. We're just overreacting. We're overreacting. We don't understand anything. We are just overreacting. Taking calls today? Yes. I think that will help me get back. I'm going to put the link over here. Here we go. Boom. Come through. Now let me see if I can. Oh, no. I can't pin it. Can I? Let me try my phone. Sorry, guys. My go-to device has decided that this mic is not going to work today. And it's still disconnected. Like, what I'm seeing is saying your mic is disconnected. Somebody shut us down, guys. Somebody shut us down.
But you see, where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, we are here. Connected sound is back. Dan says number 5. Ooh, you guys are saying 5, 5, 5, 5. Boitumelo is not sure. Okay, Boitumelo is like me. Okay, seeing is believing. I'm a seeing is believing kind of person. I'm not saying Teffo is lying. I'm not saying the record is incorrect. I'm just saying if he's saying the media is spreading lies, why did he not come forward all along? That's where my question mark is. But wait, I just want to pin this comment. Let me find myself. There I am, pinned to the top. There. Okay, I've pinned the comment. If you guys want to join, okay, and want to speak, use your voice because sometimes the comment section is not commenting and expressing yourself well enough. Come on up, of course. First in the house is Dan, okay? Make sure you come on up if you want to come as well. I am adding Dan to the stage. Whoo! Thank you, Dan, because it's been quite awkward here because I'm still trying to figure out what happened to my sound.
No problem. I'm a good time waster. How you doing?
No, you're not. You're not a time waster. Hi,
How you
Dan. How
doing?
are you doing?
Good. I miss you so much. I miss everybody, all your viewers. I hope I'm clearly audible.
Yes,
Um,
you are. I hear
okay.
you so loud and clear.
You know,
Okay.
after learning to hear myself on many of your lives, I have to learn how to talk slower, and to sound less like Long Way. Somehow I have to try to do
Ooh.
that. Now, let me give you my opinion though on this Tefo matter.
I definitely want to hear your opinion, Dan.
mm, yes. So I'm a fan of Tefo. I like Tefo. I think Tefo is a decent lawyer. I like the accomplishments, of helping people in all the labor courts and whatnot. But let me not go much into the past. I'm saying all that to say is that I'm not sure if you need to be a member of the bar. Like in America, you don't have to be a bar card holder to be a lawyer in court. It's something particular. Like that's supposed to be like a special like accolade or something like that. Like you get like a higher preference, right? But I'm not sure if that's the same in South Africa. Maybe you need it, maybe you don't. So whether he's been disbarred or reinstated, I don't know if it's true that he can come back or that he can't come back. He may not, right? Now with that being said, um, first things first, I don't tend to I don't tend to think that Tefo is a liar. I never like to refer to him as a liar. I've never have, and I wouldn't do so. But a lot of things that come out of other people's mouth that claim to talk for Tefo, we don't hear it in the news. I'm talking about those you know um fake daily fixes and all of that. And now when Tefo comes out,
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
he,
whoa. We're not going to drive past that. What did
okay.
you just say?
I don't mean to get back into this guy, but I'm slaying him, man. Every time I can get a chance, I'm slaying this guy. I know he's got people that like him. They're gonna beat me for this, but listen, I some of these people out here in YouTube land, we got to just stop believing everybody who turns on a camera and puts on their best leather jacket. We can't just go believing every single story about they're doing petitions and marches and they're going to represent who and all this stuff. They just spoke to their special sources. They're lying to you. This guy's a known lie. Let me tell you something. There's a guy, I don't, and this is my last time addressing this because I don't want to give him like but it's my last time. There's a guy named Daily Fix. He's always talking for Tefo. When he even one time made a video saying he would no longer speak for Tefo because they had a falling out, allegedly. I don't know. Maybe he revealed something he wasn't supposed to reveal. Maybe he lied and said something that wasn't actually true. But he had a falling out with Tefo. He wasn't going to speak on his name anymore. Next thing you know, he's speaking on his name again. Um, and and he's speaking for Tefo these things that Tefo himself has not been saying. But to a little bit to his credit, Tefo's been saying some of these things. For example, in the first trial, we all heard Tefo say that Kelly pulled the trigger, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then we've never heard any evidence of the sort in either trial, first or the second, that proved it. We never heard any evidence. We've heard more indication that somebody else was the trigger point, you know. Um, but anyway, this guy, he goes on to say Kelly's pulled the trigger, and then in the same effing video, he'll say, "Oh, Kelly was the mastermind." So I don't know. Maybe Kelly hired herself, and I don't know.
Okay, wait. So
Stupid nonsense.
today we're giving Kelly grace.
Yeah, yeah.
we,
No,
we,
no.
we, we're pausing on the Kelly. Let's
Yeah,
pause on the outside stories because I want to make sure we remain and
I'm,
not digress.
I'm
It's the
sorry.
reason I paused you. No, don't apologize. The reason I paused you initially was because I thought I heard you say fake daily fix, and I said, wait, what?
That's what I said.
Is it because my hearing isn't
No,
working?
no. That's what I said.
So
I'm
that's what I stopped you. So
yeah,
going
because
to I
because
want to believe that the Daily Fix is a friend of the channel. So I'm a huge fan of open space, safe space. We can all talk.
yeah,
But as you said that, I was actually going to say, you know what? You're right about that. We
you got
members
that
of the
right.
jury were not really clear about if he's disbarred from the
Mm,
bar, can he actually practice? And I said, you know what? I think we can call a neutral party to
yeah,
explain to us. And in my mind, I was thinking of the Daily Fix because guess
no,
what?
he's
Not
not a
all.
neutral party.
No,
He's
when I say neutral, I mean if we asked him a legal question, he can answer it. We're not asking him if
God.
his if what his plans are moving forward. I just went to his channel now to see if he did a video on what Advocate Teffo said. No, he hasn't done a video.
Can't speak
Um,
on Teffo at all. He cannot speak on Teffo. That's the. You know what? I should have just kept it like that because I'm talking about Kelly. I fell for it. He can't speak on Teffo as far as I'm concerned because
something happened.
yeah, something happened. You know, and yeah, but I, I'll just leave it like that. He's already lied about something in one video and caused another YouTuber, Wake Up Entertainment, to make a whole video about something that Fix said that wasn't even true. So that's like you doing a video on, let's say, Patricia Mashali, right? And then come to
Mhm.
find out, I mean, I know she's not a liar. She would never lie. But, let's just say, for example, she lied and then you made a video,
And
broadcasting.
I'll be mad. I'll be mad. That's
Exactly.
why I'm so nervous for tomorrow because
Right.
I know people will come for me, but he said it himself.
No.
It's
So let
one
me,
if Patricia had said it, I would not have done the video.
right. No, but
But
let me get my
go ahead.
bottom line on Teffo. I like Teffo. He was wrongfully
100%
arrested in court, and
public.
and they're using jail fare on him and everything. But number one, Advocate Mnisi wasn't prepared the last two times we reconvened because he couldn't read all the 40 to 60,000 pages. Now, if we're being told that Teffo is going to step in for Sibiya to relieve Mnisi, then we should ask ourselves, does that mean that Teffo himself read the 40,000, 60,000 pages, and will he be ready by Monday? Because how is he going to come in and step in for Sibiya if he didn't read these things that we all saying that Mnisi should have read? We can't
But
give,
I
yeah,
think in understanding Advocate Tefo's style,
mhm.
he's just going to shoot from the bar.
You know something? Honestly, that shouldn't be okay for Mnisi and not okay for Teffo. That,
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, it's like saying you're a new advocate. I'm going to afford you 6 months, and I'll afford this guy 2 months. No, we all need to read the same record. We all need to consult and do everything we got to do. And there's no matter of style or style clash that's going to make you sound better because a lot of things came out in the second trial that probably went in a different direction than what Teffo would have brought out in the first trial. Like again, long way, the trigger point, shooting himself, DNA, and all of this. We're not considering a lot just to turn around and say Kelly did it. I'm not saying she did or didn't. I'm just saying as far as what we've heard in court, for those who have ears to hear, it
Mm-hmm.
sounds like, yeah, It sounds like evidence leads to long way. And I don't got time for these people coming with their personal obsessions with Kelly. That's why I'm so pissed off. That's why I always slam this guy. I I'll get back to him later. But the point is, Teffo, I don't think he should come back. I don't think he should come back to the trial. If he came back to represent number,
Okay, pause. I'm going to poll. We have 137 people right here. Dan has just said advocate therefore cannot, no, advocate therefore should not come back to the trial. Drop a 10 in the comment section if you agree with Dan. I wanna see where we stand in the public opinion, because this is the court of public opinion. Okay, we don't have a judge, but we surely have a jury. Go ahead, Dan.
the a couple months ago, I was making a joke like, "Oh, if Teffo wants to come and replace Ramasipili, then I'm cool with that." I I still might be okay with that. But in terms of if we're talking about reading 40,000 pages and then coming to prepare based on that, he hasn't done it. He shouldn't be allowed to come back because what are we saying then? You know. Um, and listen, the guy quit already. Listen, I love Teffo. He's a great man, but listen, bro, you quit.
He
You don't.
clarified that though, Dan. He
He,
clarified. You see,
I
that's the
under,
thing with advocate therefore. He says one thing and then
yeah,
you're like, okay, I understand. And then he comes back, he says, they are not my former clients. They are my clients. I haven't terminated their mandate. Then I say to myself, okay, you know what? The English language is not my first language. I don't
no,
think it's advocate devil's first language, but I need him to explain to me what the hell Ramasipili, Ngomezulu, Mnisi, and Ngumalo are doing in there. If he hasn't terminated his mandate,
right,
how did that exchange happen? Maybe we need, I think, I think I need to invite someone actually from the bar to
yeah.
come and explain to us how is it possible that if he never terminated his mandate, how did
Did you
legal
watch the
aid
first
bring in
trial?
these four people?
Did you see the first trial?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Where he stands up and
And
he
said what to the
quits.
judge? Because I remember watching the first trial too, and I saw this man stand up on record to Judge Malmela, and say that because of the constant harassment by the state and by the court, he said he could no longer. So I respect Tefo for clarifying that for all of us, but this is the problem. You didn't clarify the same place where you stepped down. You stepped down on the record in court in front of everybody and said you could no longer represent. You didn't come back and clarify and say, yeah, I didn't actually step down. No, you came back to, I didn't hear, I'm being fair and honest. I didn't hear where he clarified, but I know he did because he's a man of clarity, and he's going to, I respect him. But,
Which is why I want to have a one-on-one with him. I really do. And I'm not coming from a place where I want to tear him down.
yeah,
Guys, I fought the hardest to ever mention Therefore in any of my videos because he was in prison at the time. But you guys
right.
kept talking about him in the comment section and I was like, okay, I'll say a light comment here and there. But I wasn't comfortable about it because he was in prison. And listen, I'm not one person to kick a dog while it's down. But now that he's outside,
Right.
advocate therefore the
And
people want you here on Mzansi Unfiltered. Okay, I did a poll yesterday. If I was like McG, I would literally call him now and see if he answers, and then we shoot from the bar. But I
yeah,
don't want to push him as well. Let me see.
I'm not. Look, he's qualified. He's qualified to be in this trial. I'm not one of those people that say, "Oh, he's not good. He's unprofessional. He's this." I'm not one of those. Tefo is more than qualified. There's no, uh, there's no black lawyer sentiment or anything like that that is relative to this matter. The problem is the kind of judge that we're dealing with. If Tefo comes back, that's going to be a field day of delays and gaslighting and
Insults.
he's gonna exactly. Rata is gonna play with Tefo, and we know Tefo can give it right back, but we don't have time.
We don't.
Before the trial, within the trial, and in the first SENZO trial, we would have loved to see all that back and forth between Rata and Tefo and all that. But right now, we're so unfiltered. we are so close to the defense opening their case. I don't have time for Teffo to come and say this and say that. And please, can we just let Baloy close? Let him
I
close.
I don't even think we're close. That's the sad part. So having been inside the Jocelyn Smith case and watching a case with a judge who respects every single person, even the janitor. Okay,
Mhm.
he respects the janitor. The people were throwing papers on the floor. The judge intervenes. He respects everyone, including, the worst of the worst, Kelly. He gave them all the respect they deserved until Judgment Day, of course. But it's so nice to see that, where you see, oh, okay, a trial can start and a trial can actually end. Oh, the state has closed their case. The SENZO MEYIWA trial, the state is not closing their case. As much as we think Baloy
Yeah.
is closing after Gininda,
Re-examination, another
it's not
week.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't see it, because he has already slid. Okay, he's already slid some photos to Mnisi under the radar there, and Mnisi came on record and said, I already received some extra details. So
Yeah.
that's already telling you there's still so much more games. And then I always say, but why? What on earth did SENZO do? Was he like an undercover drug dealer? Does he owe people money? Or did he die in the police station? Did he upset someone in politics? What did he really do? Because this is no longer about that he died at his Makwapeni's house. I mean, there's nothing spectacular about Kelly. There's nothing spectacular about what happened to SENZO. It's clear.
No,
He
no.
died.
You
What
reminded me.
happens next? We
I'm
need
sorry.
justice, and we need whoever did it behind bars. Can we close the case? But this case, it's turning more and more into Mganewane and Gulugutus. Every day is something new. Every day. It's like a movie.
Yeah.
It's
No,
like
this,
a series. We're now
this
in series. We thought we were on part 2. No, no. We thought we were on the finale. No. Now we have Teffo saying, tomorrow I will be inside the courtroom
yeah.
representing accused number 1.
I'm trying to say, like, I love Teffo, but all I hear when you say that is, I'm going to cause another delay. That's all I hear you say, my brother. Like, you know, listen.
So let's hear from the people in the comments. So most people in the comments from the poll stand with Dan. Okay. Remember that I polled you guys and I asked you if you believe that Teffo should not represent Umuzi. You guys dropped your 10s there. I want to hear from the people who say, all the way, Teffo is my man. Okay, Teffo is going to do the things. He's going to take the trial to the next level. He is our Ngome Zulu. I think I saw a comment that said, the war has started. But then I asked myself, is this a performative case? Or is it really a case where justice is being sought? Let's talk about Warrant Officer Makubo and his resignation. I definitely want to hear your thoughts, Dan.
Yeah. From the Hawks, you mean, or
From the Hawks, yeah. No, from completely. So, just in case you didn't hear it,
yeah, it's fresh.
Advocate
Yeah.
therefore says Warrant Officer Makubo is the author and creator of
375.
Docket 375.
Right.
Apparently, he has resigned from the police. Those are Thefo's exact
Oh,
words.
good. No, good. So that way they can't touch him anymore, and they can't, do. Listen, all this trial needs is just one person, one out of three people to come and just tell their truth. Sviso, Kelly, or Makubo. If all three come and tell their truth, it's over for the state. It's over for everybody. But Makubo is one of those essential voices because he's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And as long as he's got nothing tying him to Saps, they've got no reason or Hawks. I don't know. In my view, you would think that the higher authority would be, like the Hawks would be more like stable and safe, but whatever. He resigned. Good. Keep that behind in hiding and come out when we need you, man. You know.
Um, even though he has resigned as a SAPS officer,
Mhm.
he can still come as a defense witness if the defense decides to call him. But then just like in the Jocelyn Smith case, the defense did not offer any defense. They literally just said Section 174, which is just discharges. We're not the right people. And then from there, they did Section 35, which is we reserve the right to remain silent. And then that's it. The case ended. So do you guys think this is what's going to happen in the SENZO MEYIWA trial? Well, okay. Let's go hypothetically speaking. Has advocate therefore told us his game plan? We know he's going to be in court tomorrow. But what exactly is his game plan?
He's got to stop doing that too, by the way. He's got to stop giving the game plan away. He's got to stop doing that.
Which is why I say, my personal, this is me, myself as a human being, as a person, not as a channel owner. I am for letting things happen. I'm a believer, okay? I'm like, here, Lou over here. I'm a believer, okay? I'm a doubting Thomas. I believe when I see, okay? I wanted to see. You know what Advocate Teffo should have done? In my humble opinion, he should have let those cameras zoom in, boom, tomorrow, and everyone is, and then look at the chat go wild. That chat would have been lit. It would have been on fire tomorrow. But what he has done, in my opinion, and someone said it here, let me see if I can see the comment. Someone said, I think Advocate Teffo will do everything to block him. So you've given Advocate Teffo, what is it, Saturday? Sunday? We know Advocate Teffo is, no, not Advocate Teffo, Advocate Baloyi is very, very good at sending emails at midnight. We know that because Shalolo once told us that I was not told that I had to stay up and wait for an email from Baloyi, which came in at midnight. I didn't know, so I'm not ready. So by disclosing on the Mastermind channel, and everyone is free to do what they want to do,
right?
I just feel I would have loved the element of surprise. I think that would have garnered more, I don't want to say sympathy, but more support. Like it would have been such a full circle moment that this man, yeah, think about it. The last time he was on camera is when he was dragged out of there. Dragged like an animal. His rights were not read to him. It wasn't clear what exactly warning statement that was or what J50 statement. That officer just wanted him out of there. The cameraman, you can even see him in the back. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, well, go watch it. The first 6 minutes, you see Advocate Teffo being dragged out of court. He takes off his robe, okay? His learned colleagues are there helping him pack up. He's packing up. And then he goes to prison for a total of 17 months. Now, I don't want to liken him to Jesus, but I can only, I want to draw some parallels. So please, Christians, do not come for me because that's one sensitive bunch in the comment section. I'm just drawing a parallel to the story here. So what happens? He went to prison. So first of all, he's dragged out of court. And then he goes to prison for 17 months. And in those 17 months, he's at Jose Mamporo for 9 months. And then he's at the, Sun City for 8 months. And then after that, he's finally released the day Advocate Ngomezulu passes away. Come on now. That just can't be a coincidence. And then if he walked into court tomorrow, where we are expecting Mnisi to say, I'm good to go, guys, we are ready. The show is on, okay? It's inside PHAKATHI within. And then Baloyi stands up to say, my lord, we have Advocate Teffo in the house. He would like to address the court. Can you imagine that moment, what it would have been like? It would have been groundbreaking. Because we wouldn't know what he's going to address the court. Now we are all going to be there, literally, virtually, waiting to see, was he right or wrong? Do you see the difference? Whereas we wouldn't know why he's there. But then tomorrow, there's going to be team, he's telling the truth. And then there's team, he's not make sure right now.
Right.
And then everything is split. And then there's Team State. Ooh, Team State is going to have a field day with that one. So I don't know. And then he says, but then at the same time, which is why I cannot discredit Advocate Teffo at all. He then says, he went to Mnisi. He approached him And he told him, hey, Mnisi, you know what you're doing is kind of not quite copacetic. You can't be representing accused number 3 and representing Muzi at the same time because Muzi's confession implicates number 3. So how are you going to do this? Then I say, okay, that makes sense. Okay, you're talking sense. But wait a damn minute.
No,
You, advocate, therefore, represented all 4. So help
right.
me understand
Thank you.
what you're doing.
That's not a conflict of interest. I literally that thought. So I don't even have to say it. You literally just said it. Like that's not. First of all, it, I hate doing things when I have to defend Kelly because it sounds like I'm a Kelly defender. I hate things when I have to defend Trump because it sounds like I'm a Trump defender. And I hate when I have to say things that kind of show a certain side of Teffo because again, I'm on Teffo's side. But that's not what conflict of interest means, and that's not what is happening. That's not what it is. That's that's when he said it. I'm like, and I'm surprising Patricia for not like kind of like, she was just like, yeah, yeah. I'm like, nah, man, that's not, that's not what it is, and that's not happening. It's not a conflict of interest, and the earnest is not on him to say I'm gonna come and defend. The first and foremost, it's on Sibiya. He has the right to appoint his counsel, and then if and then um depending on which branch it branches off into, will legal aid have a say in it? And if he decides to go private, then he can approach Teppo, right? But then, can you imagine what the news is going to say and what the judge is going to say? All this time we wasted on giving this guy time, and then if somebody else wants to come in who hasn't even read the pages, what are we doing? You know, what like we're gonna give Rato all the ammo, then all the people are gonna come and say, "Yeah, see, he's being a fair judge. He's being fair because how can someone come and say this now and it's late at this late stage in the game?" You know. And real quick about the 174,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything weird about that. Even in America, even the most serious of trials, once the defense has an opportunity to, they usually put like an application, oh, can we dismiss this trial? The evidence is baseless. My client is not implicated, and the state hasn't proved their case without reason. 9 times out of 10, it's dismissed over here on this side. It's dismissed, but it's a formality. You'll always see that. Oh, can we just get rid of this trial, please, judge? No, that always happens. But
No,
so the
but
one,
what I mean is you have to remember that we have the court, the real court, then we have the court of public opinion. And us in the public opinion side, we want the defense to go forward. We want certain things to be put on the record. By doing 174, you're just shutting it all down right there. And we
right.
never we'll continue with these kind of back and forth in the virtual realm, but I would have loved to see things said inside the court. For example, Gayton McKenzie being called to the stand in the Joshua Smith trial. That never happened.
Oh, right.
But he had an integral part.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So, but for sure, you know what? I will never interrupt with how things happen legally because I'm not a legislator. These are laws that are already in existence. The question is, who is the right lawyer to do it? Who is the right legal representative? Who is the one who is going to make the closing arguments?
Oh,
And
absolutely.
and then will Judge Rata actually listen? That's my concern for tomorrow. For tomorrow.
I,
If let's go hypothetically, okay, nothing against anyone who's already representing advocate therefore. I think of myself, I'm sorry, who's representing Muzi, right? I think of myself and I say to myself, if I was Mnisi and then this guy is coming in the room and let's just say he's advocate, I don't know, John Smith. Advocate John Smith walks in the courtroom and says, I'm taking it from here. How does that work in the professional realm? I mean, they are professionals, and in the legal space, that's why they call themselves learned colleagues. Okay, they can't be having bar fights. So
I'm,
that's what my question. But he says he spoke to Mnisi, and Mnisi says, "I'm not trying to be a hero here. Okay, I'm just
want to
trying to
answer
do
your
the job."
question. I want to answer your question.
Mhm.
Two things. First, to answer the question, the best person at this point to continue this trial for accused number 1 is Advocate Mnisi. Um, But two things, 2 points. One, that's the first point. He's the best qualified at this point. And two, um, oh my God, brain farting. Okay, he from this point on, all of the defense counsel has to go forward with everything as if they're simply going forward for the SCA. Everything that they're doing. For example, the the notice of motion was a beautiful masterpiece. You have to go forward everything that you do on record, so that way it's a perfect, flawless case for Supreme Court of Appeal. So things like the notice of motion was perfect. So um, as you go forward, when you keep on getting these new evidence, you have to put it on record. Look, we're getting these new, and the judge is simply allowing it. It shouldn't be allowed. There should be a deadline. Discovery has been long past. It's gone. We shouldn't be getting new evidence at this point. And on this side, there's something called Brady. Brady versus something, which basically is if the prosecution, the state, if they have evidence that exonerates any of the accused, they're supposed to submit it to the court. And if they don't, that's an automatic mistrial. That's called Brady. So everything that Mnisi does, he should do it for the record, with the consideration that it is going to give him, give all of them a victory in the event of an appeal, because those boys are not going to get off. But the second thing I wanted to say is this. Listen, this also goes into Mnisi being the best one to step in after Ngome Zulu at this point. Why? And we need to put our thinking caps on, okay? And Ngome Zulu was hitting gold. He was hitting gold, and he was angering people and scaring people at the same time. There was things that Ngome Zulu was going to bring out about the shooter, the circumstances of the crime scene, that they did not want to come out. So if he's laying the foundation for one direction, and then I'm sorry, people, we all know what happened. They eliminated him. Okay, they did that. No, I'm not sugarcoating. We know they did it. Okay, now we let somebody else come in with a whole nother angle. What was Ngome Zulu's work for? So they deleted him to protect themselves for something sensitive that he was going to come out with. But this other person is going to be safe because it doesn't expose anything. So what I'm trying to say is there was a reason on one side, but on the other side, it's like it won't be as effective as enough. So I'm trying to say is whatever Ngome Zulu was doing, stay that course. And Mnisi has those notes. He has those correspondence. I hope with whoever advocate Ngome Zulu was consulting with his wife, anybody. I hope he stays that course. Make these people poop their pants. Make them sorry that they did anything to anybody on the witness side, on the defense side. We can't come with something that's going to make them feel safe. A story about Kelly or a story about a mastermind or a new number or new evidence. We don't need that now. We don't need any. Stay the course. Make them mad. Make the judge come down with the ruling. Make him come down with the ruling. That's what you want. You don't want. I'm telling you, he's going to come down with something that's going to delay or completely do something to this trial, because what they don't want is the defense to lead. It's we're going on 3 years sometime soon. And the defense has not opened their case. That is insane. And no one is talking to the state. Oh, the defense needs time to read. Oh, black lawyer, blah, blah, blah. What about the state? They can't close their freaking case. What are they afraid of? Have they not put enough evidence to say beyond reasonable doubt? The answer is no, because they're still going. Their actions is proving that they have not proved a well-oiled case to win.
No,
So,
and you know what? I'm not necessarily team state. I'm not necessarily team defense. I am team justice for SENZO MEYIWA. That's the team I'm writing on. But it's really, how can I say it? it's really greasy. It's a very greasy process. We're slipping. Okay, we're slipping. The state has no grasp. At this point, I have no confidence in the state. I have no confidence, no secret. I have no confidence in the lead investigating officer and his team and their ability to investigate. But you know what? I just don't want to, anger the lead investigator. But it is what it is, sir. You
Yeah.
wasted the court's time, and the court allowed you to yapper on endlessly. That's why the record moved from 40,000 pages to 60,000 pages. There's a reason there's an additional 20,000, and we all know 20. How can 20,000 pages belong to one man on the stand who hasn't said anything that makes any sense? I for one would be on his side immediately if he said something that made sense and a conviction was coming.
Yeah.
And if you prove that the 5 accused in the dock are really guilty, I will be there clapping hands for the state on a job well done. But for now, first of all, let's go to what Advocate Teffo said, which again he says, and that's not me. He says, thank goodness, there's one thing about being in prison. You learn a lot. You learn a lot on the other side. And he says he learned that the 5 accused, aka Ubongani Danzi in this case, are being incarcerated illegally at this time because he's been there for more than 2 years. He's supposed to have been released and been attending court coming from home because no one is supposed to be, if trial is not concluded within 2 years, you cannot be in prison for more than 2 years.
Right.
You have to attend court from home. So you know what? Those are some of the things that you're like, wait a damn minute. Why didn't Ramasipili, stand up in the court and put that application for
No,
Mani Danzi?
I don't
So
know.
these little discrepancies as well, that's where you're kind of also looking sus at the defense team because you're like, why are things being allowed to slide through? So is Advocate therefore the right person to go into to take representation for Muzi Sibiya? Because we know, and may his soul rest in peace, Advocate Ngomezulu was dropping bombs and he didn't care whose feelings he was hurting, including the judges. We all saw how upset. You're saying I'm colluding.
I want to see if you heard this. Did you hear a shot that perhaps Judge Erasmus might have taken at another judge when he was delivering when he was talking to one of those advocates? I don't even know if it was the state or the defense, but
Professor Mkabai of Miss Mkabai.
right, yeah,
Oh my goodness.
he was
Sorry.
saying something. No, you're fine. He was saying something along the line. He was saying something along the lines of, um, in this court, oh man, he said in this court, there's you're allowed to something. You know what? I'm ashamed now because I can't. It was so perfect. It was like a one-liner, and then he continued again. But if that was no, I mean, there could be no harder blatant shot to Judge Rata that Erasmus
I
was saying
think it
it.
was when he was talking to Sakarayan, Kelly's lawyer. He said to him, because they were using Judge Nathan's previous cases, which were overturned against him. And
Yeah,
he was like, you're not going to catch me sleeping.
he
I
was
was
ready
a
for
young
that.
judge then, and I made a mistake, and
Yeah.
that's okay. But I am here and I'm listening to you guys. You guys can keep throwing these things at me, and I will take that into consideration because in this court, I listen. We all know a judge that says that. He says he listens. But I believe for sure, 100%, Judge Nathan listened to the defense. He listened to their arguments, but they just failed to flip the judge to the other side. And the main reason for that is because they did not even present a single witness. They shut down their defense, and for that, the judge made them pay for it.
Unfiltered. When he said he was gonna freestyle, I knew it was over. When he said he wasn't gonna read off any notes, when he was just gonna go like in chronology and give
Mhm.
his judgment, I knew what was gonna happen.
Then, yeah, because someone in the comment section, you guys need to know this, okay? In when the judges wear their robes, and then that black scarf. Someone in my comment section said the judgment was already clear because of how the scarf was hanging on Judge Nathan's neck, and it was leaning. It was more on the state side, on the left side, which means the judgment is going to go towards the state. So watch out for that. If ever, Judge Rutter reaches the phase where he's giving a judgment, watch for his black collar, because that's where the hint is going to be. So, yeah. So, guys, I haven't read your comments. I've been seeing them. You guys know I read comments. I multitask. So, JJ says, Teffo is another pit bull that will grind any bone and expose the lies. Yes, I believe that, which is why he said, I am going pro bono, okay? No legal aid money is going to shut me up. I am going to do what I want. But then going back to Dan's point about being disbarred, and if you're disbarred, can you actually continue working? He said he left the LPC. Is it the LPC? Yeah, he says he left the LPC and he's now part of the NBCS, and then he's now part of Advocate Dalimpofu's. This is when he starts digressing and you kind of want to stop him. Like, stop. One sentence at a time. Let's break it down. Let's unpack what you're saying. Because there's a lot that he said. So much. So much. Let me see what other points he brought up. Let me go through your comments because you guys are also dropping nuggets over here. Boitumelo is laughing. Okay. What are you laughing at, Boitumelo? We have Alf, okay, a channel member. Thank you so much for supporting the channel financially. I absolutely love this, guys. Wait. I need to first of all thank Dorcas. Okay, this is one thing I missed about lives. I missed about getting this animated what is it called, icon on my screen. So Dorcas, thank you so much. Thank you Machabalala for supporting the channel. Pretoria court will be on fire. This is enough for me to buy a fire extinguisher. Okay, we're gonna have a fire extinguisher on this channel because there's gonna be so much fire tomorrow. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Alf says Mnisi can't represent accused number 3 and 1 because that's a conflict of interest. Dan covered that. We will see tomorrow what the law actually says, because unfortunately Rose is not there. But if Rose was there, the judge was going to say, Rose, go get my book over there, and then bring section over there. Did you guys know?
Ashley. We Ashley now, no?
It's Ash. No, I said if I liked Rose. Ashley doesn't get called out to go run to the office and do things. Is that sexist? I don't know. We'll talk about that in a separate video. But Ashley isn't made to run up and down. But Rose, man, she was always up and down. She was always going. I mean, she even went to get eye drops from Ngomezulu. If I wasn't Ngomezulu's wife, okay, there's so many cases I can bring for what is it called? Financial restitution for the abuse my husband would have experienced in that court. And as a grieving widow, I am seeking compensation. DM me and I'll give you all the things that they need to. Why did they give him eye drops? Why didn't they give him time off? This is something that Advocate Teffo said. He's an expert in the labor Ndondoni's court. There's a lot of abuse Ngomezulu endured, leading to his untimely death. But we are not there, and I'm not his wife. But I hope his family, are looking into those things, because he was a breadwinner of the family, and that is a lost income for the family because of his sudden passing. But that's my opinion. Okay, I'm a fighter. I would fight that one. But what else did I want to talk about? I wanted to talk about, Mbusi says, i-confession kaMuzi ithi wayehamba noMakimbi noMakho ayisho ukuthi kwakuno Ncube. Okay, that's fair. Thank you, Mbusi. I wonder if Muzi knows about this. Okay, for those who are not picking up what Small is putting down, he's saying, it's one thing that Advocate Teffo is saying he will be in the court tomorrow representing Muzi. But when Judge Rata says, stand up, Muzi, can you confirm or deny if Advocate Teffo is representing you, what is Muzi going to say? That's a fair point. I like this point. Again, I am not for or against Advocate Teffo. I just have a lot of questions that I
Let me
need
ask you a
answered
question. I'm
before
sorry.
10 a.m. tomorrow. Yes, go
So
ahead.
let me ask you a question. If you, God forbid, okay, but if you were in a position of accused number one, and you know everything you know about, the reputation of Advocate Teffo, good, bad, or indifferent, um, would you rehire Teffo as your advocate, knowing that he's left you once?
If I was Muzi sitting in prison, charged for a crime that Ngomezulu was going to appeal for me, but Advocate Ngomezulu passed away in December, and then suddenly I was forced to pick a new representative. But then I didn't have my uncle's phone number with me in court. But then, the cameras, everyone, all these people of authority are forcing me to make a decision. And then I say, Anna, for me. And then from there, I'm told within 2 days, 48 hours, you got to choose one. And then I say, okay, you know what? My uncle anyway wasn't paying anymore. Things were tight at home. Let me just go ahead and
Even if
pick.
you had the money, I'm saying you want this thing to, like, you had to pick an advocate to take you to see you through the end of the trial. Would you rehire Teffo if the funds were there? Or yeah, the funds were even there, I'm saying.
Because as a person who's behind bars and I've been exposed to Advocate Mnisi, I've watched Advocate Mnisi from across the room represent accused number three, and I've seen him come out of solitary confinement. My money is on.
You know something? Wow, I forgot all about that. Wow. You reminded me of something that he did.
Nisi is not the underdog. He's just not. He's not going to put his neck on the block. But he told Judge Rutter that my client is losing his mind. Sometimes when I talk to him, he sounds totally off the hook. But he didn't say, you know what, let's just go through this and get this conviction. He didn't ignore accused number three. You have to, like, if we really case study that, he never ignored him. Instead, he brought it to the judge. He brought it again and again and again until Umlungu Wetu now represented it. Because even then, Mnisi said, if I have to represent him for this solitary confinement case, the SENZO MEYIWA trial is going to pause. If there's one thing about Mnisi, he's very consistent. So if I was Umuzi, I would look at each one's track record and see who has done the most for their client inside the SENZO MEYIWA trial. That's how I would choose between the two. And I'm looking for the one who's going to get me out.
Yeah.
Advocate, therefore, for me, and I'm going to speak freely, this is my opinion. Advocate, therefore, is too hot. When I say hot, I mean there's a lot of external factors, okay? He mentioned it yesterday. He said, Begitale wants me off the case, the president did. These are all things, okay, that have got nothing to do with me. I never shot SENZO MEYIWA. Okay? That's what I want the focus to be on. But because, and then Advocate also says, he's being harassed by the LPC, he's being harassed by the police. At the end of the day, if I am arrested, listen, I'm very selfish. I need you to focus on me. Does he have the bandwidth to isolate all these extenuating things that are going on?
Yeah.
And focus on me and getting me off of this, getting us, because they're charged in common purpose. We see Shololo, who my prediction is, she still won't be in court tomorrow because she's taking care of things on the side. I need someone who's there for me. I'm that kind of selfish girl.
Right.
So I'm not discrediting Advocate Teffo and what he can do. I just think that maybe there's a lot of distractions. And I don't blame him. I was dragged out of court on live TV. How dare you? My
Which is
pride, my
probably even
self-esteem,
illegal, by
my
the way.
future clients. Huh?
No, that was probably even illegal, right?
Yeah.
That he couldn't have done that to him.
So there's just way too much. So if I was Umuzi, so far I would be happy with Mnisi. He stood up to Judge Rata and told him to his face, "How dare you?" That's against my client's constitutional right that you force me.
And he
And
did it
then,
without and he did it without cursing, by the way.
oh no, Nisi is very. So that's what I mean. Like, I am a content creator. I love drama. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Advocate, therefore, understand is good business for me.
Too raw. Yeah.
But that's me. I'm not incarcerated. Is it good business for the accused? Is it good business for Mnisi? Is it good legal professional dondonis? I don't know. That's why I thought, we need someone who's not sitting in that courtroom, who is a legal expert. Maybe what's his name again from Joburg? What's his name? Hart. Elton
Yeah.
Hart. I think I would like to hear what he thinks about that.
Right.
I would like to hear what he has to say. What would happen? But the main question here, and we can only get that answer. I'm just happy we can get the answer tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Is
Man.
advocate therefore disbarred, yes or no? And does Muzi know, like Small says here, does Muzi know about all this? If Muzi knows, I
Personally,
mean, hey, we stand with Muzi and his decision.
yeah. Whether he's disbarred, personally, again, I don't know if this is just my knowledge of or lack of knowledge, but I don't know if it matters if he's been disbarred or which it means if he's allowed to come back. If he's chosen to be a private representative of Sibiya, then I think he can come back whether he's even if he's been disbarred. But to answer my own question, um, well, anyway, yes, Mnisi is probably the more professional of the two, and I guess more technical with the book smarts and the applications and whatnot. Fine. But off the simple basis alone that Teffo already
Hold the
resigned.
line. Hold the line. Hold the line. Hold the line. Okay. First of
Yeah.
all, we gotta shout out our brand new member. Boo, 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 boo. Thank you so much for becoming a member. But I gotta run to this breaking news.
Mm.
Lufate is coming through, okay, with some hot gossip, and says that the mastermind's alive right now. An advocate therefore is there. Who's going to fact check this? Are we live on the masterminds? Let me check.
I think he's kicking my ass right now.
You are right. They are live.
Who is this guy talking about me? No.
They are live right now. Let's eavesdrop.
Okay.
Hold the line. Hold the line. Let's beam it.
Perfect.
Playing with that firearm according to his father, and the bullet enters through the temple. You know the temple, this side of the ear, and it went through the head, and it hits the roof.
But no, we are not there. How are you? And I think you brought this up, Dan. How are you an advocate in a live case tomorrow, per his words, on
Yeah. Discussing the
discussing this?
details. Yeah. That doesn't.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
Um.
I'm saying
Okay.
I'm confused. And what's Muzi's opinion on this? Yes, go ahead.
I've seen on this side, I've seen counsel get on live streams, because we're in the modern age now, right? And I've seen them to a degree where it doesn't compromise their case or the trial. They don't talk about the finer details. They're just very like skirting around the edges, but not so much, like detail about like evidence and witnesses. And so I don't know if he's doing too much or if it's
So,
allowed.
for example, I am following what's his name? Why is his name running away from me? The most recent case right now. He's got a big podcast. What's his name?
Mac G.
No, not McG. No. In America.
So,
Hmm?
oh, and
Sheldon Sharp.
Okay.
So I'm following Shannon Sharp. I'm following all these commentaries from lawyers, and I'm following the DDKs.
Mm.
But these are all people who are outside the case.
The SENZO case is bigger than all of those cases, by the way. It just doesn't get the attention. The SENZO case is bigger than all of those.
Get out. Really?
Are you kidding? What? Let me ask you, what case in the world is more interesting and messed up and juicy than corrupt cops, fake evidence, innocent five accused, witnesses being? I mean, honestly, this is literally a movie. There's no country can
It's a
top
movie.
this. No country can top this. No case. Nothing America can do. The Diddy case can probably, you know, like this, the OJ Simpson and the Diddy case. I don't know, but this is probably number one. This should be number one on the charts. But yeah, I'm sorry. Continue.
I see you traders. I see you traders leaving my life. I see you. I see you traders. Okay, I bring you in live breaking information, and I tell you the masterminds is live, and you skip town. You skip town, and you think I cannot see you've gone over there inside. That's okay. Okay, I'm not gonna hate on it, but Alf says he's gossip. What is it with you guys? One says he's ranting, another one says he's gossiping, though, talking about Advocate Baloy's late son. Listen, I don't want to touch that one.
Oh,
Let me tell you what talking about Advocate Baloy's late son did to my
leave it.
channel.
Oh,
It got me in the bad girl section. I had to fight for my life. I had to fight for my life for talking about a child and what a child did to themselves, which is why I never wanted to do the Jocelyn Smith case, because let me tell you something, YouTube will protect children. I think what happened to Advocate Baloy, and I said it in that video, even though YouTube made me delete it, I said it, that, you know, despite the evils of the parents, and I'm using the word evil in quotation, despite that, I don't think that it is fair that we use that to fight our battles. I that one for me is unfair. That should have never happened, but that's why I don't talk about it. Okay, I skip past that part. But it's funny that you say he's gossiping, though. Sad. I am a traitor. I went. See, I can tell. I can see the traders are trading. They're going.
yeah.
But that doesn't discourage me, okay? And then Boipilo says, even me, I'm a traitor. I went and checked. It's okay to check, and then guess what you did? You're not a traitor. You came right back home, okay? You went to see what's happening next door. Even I want to see what's happening next door. Therefore, please don't come back. Oh, I don't know. Should we do a live and wait for tomorrow morning and see what happens? Let me turn off my...
At the moment, he cannot tell the police where's the firearm.
Okay, that's boring for me. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that part. That's like...
Yeah.
That's my... Advocate Baloy's son did what he did, and it happened. What's that going to do? The people, including the NPA, aka which is Baloy, why didn't they investigate that then? Somebody has to open a case on that. That's my opinion. And but to say that that is tied to the SENZO, that's why I say, when will SENZO MEYIWA's family get closure, answers, anything? Because this story, I guess you're right, it keeps growing and growing and growing. Because there's also the Alec Baldwin case.
Oh no, there were two Alec Baldwin cases. He was acquitted for one, and then they tried to bring back the second one. There was the one called the Alec Baldwin trial or something like that, and the second one was the Rust trial, or it might be vice versa. The Rust trial might have been first, but it was, yeah.
So I 100% am staying away from that conversation. So we'll check in on them in a few minutes. Hopefully they'll move to the next topic.
Yeah.
But what else is here in the comment section? Have we covered everything? I think I don't know where I stand. So after having had this public discussion with you guys, where do we stand tomorrow? So is he going to be inside the courtroom as
Watching
the
brief.
representative for accused? You think watching? He can't be a watching brief.
Oh
According
no.
to this comment,
Oh, right. He can't
if
be
you're
one.
disbarred, you can't be a watching brief either. And
No.
also, I thought the watching brief. I was very surprised to hear that he's the watching brief for the MEYIWA family. I thought it was somebody else.
Yeah, I
Or
don't
how
know.
many
I thought.
watching briefs can you possibly have? I don't know. There's
Mm.
just, it's a developing story, and we can only wait for tomorrow at 10 a.m. to really understand what is going on.
Somebody
Advocate
did a
Teffo
binge.
went to consult with Sibiya in prison today. So to answer, thank you for that. Okay, we have, where is that comment? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, we have Small's comment which says, "I wonder if Muzi knows about this." So according to this latest comment, Muzi found out today. So then it leads to my next comment. Is
No,
Advocate
but that doesn't mean that it's a definite thing. I mean, Teffo can't come and impose his will on Sibiya, and Sibiya can just reject him or just be told, "Oh, Teffo just came to see me."
But in all fairness, is is Moses Sibiya a legal expert that he can understand that, hey, Advocate F is here offering to represent me, but I also have Mnisi. What does Mnisi advise him to do? So I would
Give
have loved it if
give Sibiya
they went
credit.
to see him together.
Give Sibiya credit. He fired a guy for not being good enough. There was only one advocate in this trial that was fired, and let's not forget who that was. I give Sibiya enough credit for recognize
Okay.
what's
No,
good. I,
I accept.
he knows a good. Okay.
I accept. You know what? I never said he wasn't. I just said this.
Hmm.
I can only always think of myself. And I feel like a lot of things are happening too fast, too furious to him. Let's take, for example, Judge Rata. Ask him if he knows, okay, that Mnisi Wemvula hasn't completed the work. Huh? And then he asked him, "Do you agree that Mnisi is your legal representative?" Like the questions that Judge Rata asks sometimes are a little bit overwhelming. And then he asked him last time, no, Judge Rata said, "And if you come on that day, we will make Muzi Sibiya make you work." Huh? What? So it's actually incredible. It's incredible to me. It is incredible. So where do we stand, guys? Are we waiting for tomorrow to find out what really disbarred means? I think that's where we need to start. So I'm gonna continue reading this comment that I got yesterday. It said, strict legal restrictions, no loopholes for practice under the Legal Practice Act and court rulings. Disbarment means a complete ban from legal work, no exceptions for pro bono consulting or informal advice. Representation requires a valid license, therefore cannot appear in court, file a motion, or speak on behalf of clients. Even watching brief roles are prohibited if framed as legal assistance. Possible consequences if he tries. Okay, I didn't realize there's consequences. Contempt of court. And we already know, okay, he's already been to prison. So contempt of court is not something scary to him. If he misrepresents himself in a hearing, criminal fraud charges, if he implies he is a practicing lawyer, further sanctions from the Legal Practice Council. Whoa.
Well, if you study to get your any certification or license, it's yours. So again, a bar over here is no more than like the upper
An
echelon.
association.
Yeah, it's like the state club, like
You
it's
can
like
come to the party. Oh, it's like the party
yeah,
that they never invited Judge Rata to, and he was quite sad.
you know, it's like yeah, like the people from the state get like the preferential cases or or prosecutions and stuff like that because they come from the bar, I guess. But I don't think it's just like a formality. Like, but I don't know. It's two different worlds. I don't know if that's a thing where you must be a member of the bar just to be a lawyer. So I don't know.
Okay. Dimple says this is wrong timing for both our favorite channels being live at the same time. Ooh, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. No comment. Okay, no comment from this side of the channel. But I'm cool. Like, I'm one person, even if there's 5 people on my live, I will still, the show continues. I'm not one person. I'm not nervous. I'm not uncomfortable in my position. I'm good. If you want to go to Patricia Mashale's live, I release you to the world. But apparently there's gossip and rant there. I'm kidding, guys. I honestly, I have no hard feelings. I was just joking when I said traitors.
Yeah, no, we're all in the same
Know
side.
who the traitors are.
This is all the side of justice. We all come from many walks of life, and this is all, primarily the defense counsel, but only because it seems to be like where the honesty is, I guess. Where yeah, we're on the same side.
I am switching between the two. You know what? I actually, okay, in my streaming software, I have been live for 1 hour 44 minutes. There was some glitches, and then there's some stuff that has to happen in the background, but I gotta finish the live before 2 hours for those things to work. So guess what? I'm gonna end this. Well, I'm gonna have to end mine. I'm not ending because Patricia Mashale is live. Hell no. I'm ending because if I want to clip this live up into many little videos, this live has to end within 2 hours. And anyway, yeah, so in order for that, otherwise I have to do everything manually myself. So I need the software to work properly. We already know I had too many glitches. Somehow I lost mic service. Like, that's the weirdest thing. I lost my mic, guys. But we'll go to court tomorrow. And then on Friday, we're back in Judge Nathan's courtroom. If you haven't followed the Judge Nathan trial, the Jocelyn Smith trial, use these next 4 days to catch yourself up, because it's such an interesting case, especially if you have interest in the legal side of things. I mean, I'll say things now, like from the Jocelyn Smith case, I will say things like, I am Miss Mgabai from Mgabai Associates, and you guys won't know what I'm talking about. And I need you guys there inside PHAKATHI understanding when I say that joke. I'll say things like Judge Ndim, and if you're not following that case, you won't know what I'm talking about. Do you know what I mean? And and now they've actually completed a trial, start to finish, in less than, I would say, 35 days, with all the holidays in April. Can you imagine that?
And they had the trial within the trial.
And the trial within the trial. We saw the trial. You know what? Thanks for bringing that up. When they did the trial within the trial, I was so excited. I was like, yes, we're going to see a real trial within the trial. And the cops are going to be found guilty of torturing the 2 guys. That was my expectation. And Judge Nathan did the judge right thing. He said the statements are admitted, but let me tell you something. Nobody in this courtroom calls those confessions. I was like, okay, sir. Okay, that's interesting. He says, I'm admitting them and they're called statements. Okay, everybody understand? These are not confessions, they're statements. So Judge Nathan is a very interesting character. So Noel says he's not coming back. I really want to say something. I want to say something. But we might have traders who's just going to go and say what I said over there in the comment section on the other live. Okay, let me see. Woo! That live is popping. Oh, there's standing room over there. Let's hear what they're talking about now. By Roy? No, they're still on the Valoy thing.
How did you come to know about Docker 375? What happened when they was trying to arrest all 7 people in the house? And how come this current docket was prosecuted instead? Yeah, can you start? I didn't hear the question from the beginning. Okay. That's related to the question was, handed Docker 375 over to Baloy.
Mm-hmm.
How did you come to know about Docker 375?
Okay.
Who signed the indictment?
No, Patricia, one question at a
in the
time.
house to be arrested, and how in this current docket?
She's asked him 6 questions, and he hasn't had a chance to answer yet. And this is where Judge Nathan, you see, those of you who don't follow, Judge Nathan says no. He has to answer one question first. So she's asked him 3 questions. He's not going to answer all these questions because he's not going to remember. Silence.
Who signed indictment for the arrest of the 7 people in the house in terms of Docket 375? No, they were not arrested. But remember, there was a signed indictment in 375 when you exposed it in court. Okay. No, all right. No, not arrested, but the charges drafted. The drafted charges, yes. Yes, by Advocate Nzuke. Advocate Nzuke was working with Makubo and Buthelezi. And after Makubo has made investigation, thorough investigation at the scene, and then he was reporting to Advocate Nzuke. I really don't know where Baloy came in, where Baloy come from. So all along it was Advocate Nzuke and his senior SPP, Mr. Van Veek. Van Veek has since went on pension. Yes. So Advocate Nzuke was doing the good job. He's the one who did the indictment of the people in the house. So all of a sudden the case was taken from Advocate Nzuke with the help of DPP, Advocate Indru Chauke. Advocate Indru Chauke started to work with Baloy, and then they started to sideline Advocate Nzuke, having seen that he was doing the right job. And then Baloy explained to Chauke, this must have been secretly so, that Baloy told Chauke actually what happened in this matter. Because initially, Chauke was agreeing with Nzuke and Makubo to say, no, actually those people in the house, they must be charged, you see. So it took 72 hours for a Chauke to change his mind. Now he's now supporting.
Okay. The question is getting too long. We'll wait until they move to a different point. You see, I'm trying to help you guys who are torn and don't want to choose and don't want to feel like traitors. But as you can hear, there's nothing, extenuating going on except if you want to be in the comment section and you want to be there fighting for your life.
It sounds like different versions of the same details that we're hearing. How did this person get involved? Oh, there's a possibility through this person. Did these people know each other already? I think when In Jobs comes on, to this Pat or to Noni, that's when we're getting, and not to discredit Teffo or anything like that, but there's no more to, how do you say it? There's no more citrus to squeeze from that orange. You see,
no more citrus to.
Yeah, I don't know.
I never heard that one. Wait, no
I just
more
made it up.
citrus to squeeze from the orange. Is it an orange or is it a lemon? I'm not going to try and make lemonade.
Yeah, lemon. Yeah.
Speaking of lemonade, I enjoyed what is it called? Chick-fil-A. Is it Chick-fil-A? Yes.
Okay.
The lemonade was awesome. But
I'm too cheap for that.
Huh?
I'm too cheap for Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A?
I'm too cheap.
Chick-fil-A is like McDonald's.
Oh, well, I don't know. I avoid like
And it's real chicken, and they're closed on Sundays.
oh oh no. I don't eat chicken.
Oh, okay.
I stopped 3 years ago. No, but
Back
yeah,
to the lemonade and the citrus juice that
yeah.
we. So you brought up Jabs. I didn't get to talk about him today. You know what? I guess I have to do another live. Oh, my timer, guys. Remember, I don't want to work manually through the night. So let's end this live, okay? And I'm watching you guys. I'm going to know all the traders, okay? So right now Patricia Mashale has 442 people in the live with her. I'm going to end my live here. Let's see if you guys are going to bed so you get enough rest, and then we're all fresh and ready for tomorrow. Or if you're going inside PHAKATHI to the mastermind's house, guys, no love lost. I'm just pulling your legs. Jabs, I also need to do a commentary on that, a live commentary, because I've never done a live commentary about him. He is hilarious. He doesn't use the word allegedly. He doesn't believe in it, especially if it's already been said in court.
Right.
So with that said, thank you to everyone for your patience in joining this live. I'm sorry about the sound glitches. I'm glad I found a solution. I believe there was an enemy of progress blocking me, because there's no way. And right now it still says device not connected. That doesn't make any sense. And then when I disconnect it from my laptop, it starts making a beeping sound. How is that even possible? And then my mouse said no more battery. And then everything is just a mess. But we're going to fix this, because we're going
It
to
is
have a full
a
week of lives.
full-scale digital war over there on your side.
Full scale. So
And
we are going to, I think, I hate making promises and then breaking my own promises. But I think we can do a full week of lives. I think we can do that. I think I can commit to that. So hopefully you guys will be back and you will join in. Thank you for all your support. I want you guys to know that your support means the world to me. There would be no Mzansi Unfiltered at 60,000 plus subscribers without you being one of them. So pat yourself on the motherfucking back. Excuse my French, but you guys bring me so much joy. You open up so many opportunities for me, so I can only come back and say thank you to you guys. Good night. I love you. Dan, thank
thank
you
you.
for helping me when I was just all fuzzy.
Always
You
a
helped me
pleasure.
come back. I hope you can join us tomorrow. And thank you.
I'll
Thank you
try.
for all for being a friend of the channel. Bye, guys. Good night. I'm ending
Take
it
care.
here.